The movie begins with two robbers, Phil and Knox, preparing for a major heist. Knox is uneasy because their new leader, Parker, is someone he doesn't trust. Phil defends Parker, saying he's reliable. But just as they talk, Parker overhears everything. Calm but firm, Parker tells Knox to keep his emotions in check and not cause unnecessary chaos. He reminds him that killing people, especially the bank manager, will only complicate things since they'll need him alive to open the safe. Knox reluctantly agrees. The crew then joins their accomplice, Zen, who is cracking open the safe. Parker confronts the bank manager and mocks him, convincing him to punch Knox in front of his girlfriend to impress her. Once the safe is opened, the team collects the money and prepares to escape. Meanwhile, Joe, a bank employee, spots two strange cars outside and realizes something's wrong. He quietly takes his family away and sneaks back in, armed with a gun. As the robbers flee, Joe shoots Knox dead and injures Phil, stealing one of the bags of cash for himself. Parker chases Joe, kills him, and, feeling pity for his wife, gives her $10,000 before leaving. Back at their hideout, the surviving robbers tend to Phil's wound and count their haul, around $400,000. But things take a dark turn when Zen suddenly betrays them. She pulls a gun, kills most of the crew, and shoots Parker, who falls into a river. A week later, Kincaid, a mafia enforcer, reports to his boss, Lozin, that Parker might still be alive. Lozin dismisses the idea since he personally ordered Parker's death, but he warns Kincaid to stay cautious. Elsewhere, Parker wakes up in a hotel managed by his old friend Madge, who secretly patched him up. Once he recovers, Parker retrieves his hidden weapons, cash, and fake IDs from a locked room and goes to visit Phil's wife, Grace. When she realizes Phil is dead, Parker promises to find Zen and avenge him. Grace begs him to quit his life of crime, but Parker says stealing is the only thing he knows. Parker soon discovers that Zen was hired by a man named Riley, so he tracks Riley down. During their confrontation, Riley reveals that Zen used to work as a bodyguard for a ruthless dictator and that she's extremely dangerous. Before Riley can say more, Zen's hitmen attack. Parker kills most of them and escapes with one survivor for questioning. Later, Zen meets a shady partner named Bosco who doesn't trust her. Their argument is interrupted when Parker ambushes them. Zen claims she spent all the stolen money on planning a massive new heist worth billions. The job? Stealing a priceless treasure discovered by a dictator named De La Paz. De La Paz plans to transport the treasure to America and then secretly sell it for his own profit. Zen's plan is to steal it first, claiming it's for the good of her people. The treasure, according to her, includes countless jewels worth up to $500 million and one enormous gemstone worth another $500 million. But the job is complicated because De La Paz has hired an elite criminal organization called The Outfit, led by none other than Lozin, to handle the transport. When Parker realizes that his old enemy, Lozin, is involved, he decides to infiltrate the operation. Zen introduces him and his partner Glowfield to her crew, Ron, Ortiz, and Mateo. Parker quickly takes charge, suggesting that instead of robbing the museum directly, they should wait for Outfit to steal the treasure and then hijack it from them. The crew agrees, though Mateo doesn't hide his jealousy over Zen's relationship with Parker. That night, Parker and Zen visit a man named Nick, Bosco's former boyfriend, to gather more info. But before they can get answers, Kincaid and his goons arrive, leading to a wild gunfight. Parker escapes with Bosco's heist plans and severely beats Kincaid, throwing him from a balcony. Kincaid later reports back to Lozin, confirming that Parker is alive. Furious, Lozin vows to destroy him. Meanwhile, Parker recruits Brenda and a few other skilled allies for the heist. His plan is intricate. While the Outfit's train transports the treasure, his team will sabotage the brakes, derail the train, and grab the loot before the police arrive. However, things go wrong from the start. When the heist begins, the train doesn't pick up enough speed, and the treasure turns out to be fake, just crates filled with rocks. Lozin had tricked them, using a decoy shipment to lure Parker out. Suddenly, armed men swarm the scene. A violent shootout erupts, and Parker's team barely escapes. Determined to find the real treasure, Parker decides to track Kincaid again. He and Glowfield break into Kincaid's mansion disguised as cops. Terrified, Kincaid reveals that the treasure is being sold to a wealthy collector named Paul. Parker forces Paul to admit he's keeping the statue. a priceless artifact called the Lady of Orenter, inside one of 8 ultra-secure safes that each unlock only once per day. Using his bomb expertise, Parker devises a new plan to break into Paul's vault at the exact moment one safe opens. During the break-in, however, Paul manages to alert Lozin, who rushes to the vault with his men, but by the time they arrive, the safe is already empty. Parker has the real statue, while the one left behind is a flawless replica. When Paul inspects the fake, a ruby falls off, exposing the forgery. Furious, he contacts the dictator Delapaz, who believes Lozin double-crossed him and orders his execution. Chaos follows as Lozin's organization collapses. Meanwhile, Parker reveals his masterstroke. He had secretly swapped the safe's numbers and stolen the statue right under everyone's noses. When Lozin confronts him, Parker mocks his greed, explaining that he had already been sabotaging Outfit's bank accounts for months, draining their wealth and forcing Lozin into risky deals. Now, with the treasure compromised, Lozin is doomed. Parker then detonates explosives hidden inside the statue, destroying it completely. A massive firefight breaks out. Parker kills Lozin in cold blood, telling him this was never about money. It was about revenge for the friends Lozin betrayed. As Lozin's and Delapaz's men slaughter each other, Parker and his crew escape. The next morning, Parker gives Ava some jewels as a token of gratitude and closure. He tells her his mission is over. Later, Parker meets Zen one last time. She tells him that the news reports are celebrating him for exposing Delapaz's corruption. Her country has a new leader, and she wants him to come live there peacefully. Parker refuses, reminding her that she killed his old partners. When she tries to pull her gun, Parker is faster. After a tense final drink, he shoots her dead. In the final moments, Parker visits Grofield, who's reopening his theater now that they're rich again. Grofield playfully steals someone's wallet, hinting that they haven't really changed. Parker smiles and walks with him into the distance, ready for whatever comes next. The story closes with Parker's calm but powerful victory, his revenge fulfilled, his past buried, and his future uncertain but entirely his own.